Hey, Mad Dad here. I'm just here on the topic of the mother trying to keep the father away because, or trying to keep custody, or visitation from the father, trying to deprive him from seeing the kid, unsupervised or limited, in time because she says that the child doesn't know the father or have a relationship with the father, and therefore the father is the child needs time to basically begin to exercise some type of unsupervised visitation or some type of visitation that it's overnight or something. First, if there are no court orders that outline like a domestic violence restraining order, or there are no court orders that prohibit you as the father from seeing the kid, then you should be good with these instructions. And again, I'm not an attorney. This is just just information that may be helpful to you. But first off, it depends on the age of the child. Okay, if the child is from an infant to 4 or 5, ultimately the kid does need to spend a little bit more time with the mother, but not that much more time. You still shouldn't have to be a weekend father. If the mother is trying to keep you away from seeing the kid because it's based on a relationship, then you already know that it's totally bogus. Okay, first of all, kids are very, they're very um, curious. They're very, they cling on to things very quickly. Um, at first, with all relationships with kids, the kids are a little resentful. The kids are not going to come to you automatically right away. But within a few minutes, I mean, not a few minutes, but within a few hours, you can kind of break that for the most part, depending on how the mother encourages the child to basically jail to you, or to bond with you, or to care, allow you to, allow you some freedoms. It matters on how the mother interacts with you, how she speaks to the child, or she references you when she's speaking to the child. It matters a lot of things. But when your kid is an infant or a little toddler, um, the kids, they do not hold on to issues. They're very forgiveful. They're very forgiving, and they're very welcoming. So they will welcome people into their life. So the thing is that what you would do is you well, first of all, you automatically understand that it's going to take you some money to turn around and get this thing done. Second, CPS. You do not contact CPS if she's keeping you away from the kid. That's the absolute last, the most dumbest way to go. Oftentimes people go that route, but no, you shouldn't. And the way you should go is basically you're going to need a court-approved therapist or counselor. And what you should do is, and watch how things turn around. What you should do is you should file a petition and a request for order for your kid. Again, this is not legal advice. This is just some suggestions. Something that may be helpful to you. But getting back to it, because I'm not trying to play attorney. I'm not trying to play attorney, but I am trying to play a big brother, or somebody that got a little bit of information that I like to share that may be helpful to you and better establishing the relationship between you and your kid. So I'm gonna go on. You'll want to go ahead and get a court-approved therapist or counselor. You'll want to file your paperwork, but let the court know that you feel that the mother is keeping you away from the child for reasons that are not in the child's best interest. So what I mean by this is you're saying that sometimes the mother will keep you away from the kid because she still likes you, she's still upset with you, and she will use that kid as leverage to basically to see you more, to be in your life. For example, I know somebody that had basically she says that the father can't see the kid without her being there because the father doesn't know how to keep the kid, and the father drinks, and the father he's verbally abusive to her. A whole lot of things. Okay, she mentioned every single thing outside of nothing that was regarding the kid. You know, the fact that he drinks. As do you drink? Yeah, she drink too. Okay. He has just as much support from the family. They both stay with their parents. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But you can tell that it was because she still liked the guy, and the guy had moved on, and their situation really didn't work out. I don't know what the hell just happened with my light, but I'm gonna see if I can get this thing going because I don't feel like redoing this video. Um, Let me see. Oh, Lord of Jesus, give me 1 second because I'm losing all this light. My bad, this is real. It's real hood light. So, it's ridiculous. All right, so we good like that. All right, my bad. So, getting back to it, you can tell that the female, you know, she really still just likes the guy, and it's not so much about um, how well he treats the kid, but it's more so how she feels, and she's not willing to put aside her personal feelings and do what's in the best interest of the child, which is for them to co-parent in a way that is, I would use it, harmonious to the child, you know, for the child. Now, getting back to it, what you should do is you should file paperwork, and you should basically ask the court to order that parties immediately go to a counselor, and you will go and you will basically go into this court. You will go to the court either on the website or on something wrong with my light, so it is what it is. You can go to the website or you can go to the court. You can get a list of court-approved therapists or counselors. You can contact a few of them, gauge them, see how much, see the pricing, see what they offer, and you will basically go that way. You select 3 or 4, maybe no, you select 5. Select 5. Put those people in your declaration as an attachment to basically, you know, let the court know, hey, these are the people that I've reached out to that provide these services. You would ask that parties split the costs in order that these sessions be started as soon as possible, and you alleviate that by making her within, you know, you set up times, okay? And don't you do this in your declaration to the court initially. You don't wait for further court orders, because there will be no further court orders. The courts will not move unless you get them to move, okay? So basically you have to file your paperwork. You will file your paperwork. You'll add those attachments. You'll ask that party split the cost. Now understand that if she says, no, I don't want to split the cost, I can't afford to split the cost, and you're paying child support, the cost can be deducted from the child support payments that you're making. So you can ask that these classes be started. If she is smart, she's not going to start them. She could, because she already knows that it's not the kid is not in any danger or in any fear. If she's silly, and she is very vindictive, and she's controlling, and she's just full of shit, then you're gonna have it's gonna be something else, and she's actually gonna have to be ordered to go to these classes. Now, what's going to happen is more, well, not what's going to happen, but there's a possibility that she may stall. So what you'll want to do is, again, in your declaration, you want to be proactive to everything. That way you lessen the amount of time that you are not seeing your child, and you lessen the amount of time that you're going to be going to court. Because if you don't put these guidelines in your declaration, allowing for the courts to review them, then it's going to take you additional time and additional efforts, and sometimes that shit is a bit problematic, you know. and you don't want your paperwork be all thick and everything. So I'm just saying that be wise in how you write up your declaration and be conscious of the approach that you take, because it's going to, if you're smart about it and you're wise about it and you're being proactive in all ways, okay, that you can see, then things are going to work out for you a lot sooner, okay. But if you delay a little bit, but you're consistent and you are serious about what you want to do, even if it takes you a long time, you're going to get it done. Okay, even if it takes you some time, but nonetheless, you will go to court and you will seek these orders. Now, oftentimes the other parent, they don't want to go through it, but in the event that they do agree to do this, and they fail to do this, don't wait, okay, on going back to court. All right, if the judge orders that you guys are supposed to do this in a matter of time that's outlined either by the judge or by your declaration, the judge agrees with your declaration, or sometimes the judge will kind of change things, adjust it, but ultimately you get what you want, you get what you're asking for. Then you would want to immediately go back to court, and you'll want to let them know that she's violating the order. Do not waste time. So if she is slow in responding back to the counselor, because prior to going to any counseling sessions, the counselor needs to interview everybody. I believe it's called intake. We go through a whole session where they interview you, they interview her, they interview the kid or kids. They do this whole thing, and if she delays on that, then that delays on the time that you're spending with your kids. Ultimately, that delays on them receiving their mental health. Okay, all right. Now, this is an issue. If she's depriving them kids from seeing you, she's depriving them from seeing a counselor who's technically a doctor that's licensed and credentialed and this mental health stuff, and she's delaying on everything. Guess what? It's not going to look good for her. So ultimately, the sooner you show the courts this, the sooner you kind of remedy this issue of her alienating you from them kids by, in a sense, using her words against you. Because let's say this. Say when she goes to court, if she goes to these sessions, all right, you best believe that a whole lot of stuff that she's going to try to talk a lot of shit about what you have done in the past. But I'm going to tell you how to remedy this issue, okay? She's going to bring up if you did drugs. She's going to bring up if you did drugs. If you drove too fast. I have somebody that I know, somebody that basically was upset with him and saying that she didn't want the kid to see him because he was an unsafe driver. He used to drive while he was drunk, and she used to ride with him in a car while she was pregnant, and he would get real angry, have road rage, and he will pull over because he's been drinking. And there was multiple times where she was riding with him, and he pulled over on the freeway and pulled over and urinated, in the center divider, not on the side. It was on the center divider. And basically that used to frighten her, and she said that there was a couple times where he would drive real fast to scare her and all these other things, and she felt that he wasn't fit enough to take care of the child, have any visitation that wasn't unsupervised. And so she started to go on and talk, and as she was talking, I stopped her, and I was like, I don't mean disrespect, but have you you said that you have, there's been a few times where he used to drive, and you've outlined multiple times. I said, were you with him? Yeah. She's like, yeah. I was like, you was with him each time? She says, yes. So I was like, and you knew that he was a threat? She was like, of course. I was like, then why were you with him? If you knew that he was a threat, why were you putting your child in danger by knowingly riding with a person that was so aggressive? So now, after knowing this, it becomes common knowledge. Okay, think about that. Okay, understand that. Write that down. It's common knowledge. So she's bringing up stuff that you did prior to your marriage, or prior to your child. She was bringing up stuff that your kid didn't know about, but she's bringing these things up basically to air your dirty laundry or talk shit on you, or basically lessen you as a parent in the eyes of the counselor. Either A, the counselor should see right through it, or B, you should highlight it. Okay, you should basically point those things out, because if she was with you and she was doing those things, or she was with you and she was in the know of you doing those things, but she was still riding with you, then she's part of the problem, and so she has dirty hands, and she can't highlight negatives that you were doing if she was knowingly around you and knowingly not encouraging it, but not saying anything about it. She was she was okay with it. So you always want to just, I told you that story about this girl and whatever in this car, because she really is trying to use this information against him, and use this stuff, but it gonna backfire on her ass. But nonetheless, she doesn't understand that. I'll let you know about that if I ever remember, after this videos. But anyway, so now getting back to it, if your kid is older, 7 to 14, even 7 to 15, shit, okay, because now you got a little bit of a more of an issue, okay, and the issue you have is not just the girl, your ex, whether it's your ex-spouse or your ex-girlfriend, she not gonna be the problem, but the kid gonna be a problem too. He or she gonna be a problem too, because she gonna be with that mom, and that mom is steady putting all this negative stuff in the kid's ear, and the kid is just gonna regurgitate it, either not verbal, if not verbally, the kid is gonna do it emotionally, physically, through their attitude, through their demeanor, through their posture, whenever they interact with you. And even if you say, hey, my kid, I got a good relationship with my kids, and it's just her. She's the one that's keeping me away from my kids, and she's the one that's basically alienate me. And if once I get my kids by themselves, then I'll be good, because she won't be around, and I'll be able to talk to the kids. Yeah, I feel you. I get you, but wait until that paperwork come. Wait until she get the file. Man, she gonna turn them kids heads upside down, and that's just how it go, but you gotta remedy that stuff, because you gotta understand, you can't take it personal. You can't take it personal, and it's gonna be hard as hell never to take it personal. It's gonna be times where you feel like giving up. I'm talking about if you're dealing with a kid 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, because when they 9, 10, 11, 12, they love you to death, and they just don't want to turn around and tell moms that they love you, so they hate you. They force to hate you, and it eats them up. But they do it because it's what they mama say, and it's no lie. God is serious about that God stuff. And kids listen to the mama, and the mama's supposed to listen to that man, and that man's supposed to listen to God. But even when you ain't in the house together, so they gonna listen to their mama, okay? But you gotta remedy that stuff by not giving up, being consistent, and not taking things personal. Personally, I remember that my kids were at my ex threw my kids in some therapy, and my kids were in there just, telling them all kind of stuff. That the doggone therapist even called me an idiot. And my kids, my kids were just telling them things that they said that I did. And so, from what my youngest son had said was, he would turn around and tell him, like, why are you guys lying about dad? And they would say, because they would say some of those incidents were that I was doing, well, he was there, and he was telling them, no, that didn't happen, and things like that. And it was just, my son was telling me stuff, and I was so pissed. I would get so upset. My youngest boy would be like, why are they saying these things, Dad? And what's going on, Dad? And I'm sitting back like, I don't know why they said these things, okay? Like, for example, they said that I beat, my oldest son said that I beat him with an extension cord while he was in the shower, because he wasn't doing good in school, and I did it for 4 days straight. And his mother was downstairs the entire time, okay, and didn't hear nothing. And I would tell him, I guess from what I understand, I would tell him he better be quiet and don't tell his mom that I was whooping him with an extension cord in the showers in the extension cord. And nobody saw no bruises, nobody saw anything, and I did it for 4 days. And my youngest son was saying that didn't happen, and my daughter and my oldest son was saying it did happen. And so I'm telling you, it was bad, and it never happened. That was just some total bullshit. But that really pissed me off, and it really got me upset. And I'm sitting back asking myself, why the hell my kids lying like this? That's some bullshit. You understand? We was like the damn, I mean, shit, it wasn't the best, but I felt like we was like the Huxtables, man. I ain't lying. We used to have dinner. We used to freaking go to the football and get the grades and the school tours. It was cool, okay. And then it just all that stuff was just crazy. So getting back to it, some of the things that they say from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, it's gonna piss you off, and you gon' but you gon' just don't give up. Just don't give up. Understand that our blessings or our thank yous gonna come last, but it's okay. It's all right because we built that way, you know. So getting back to it, if you're dealing with them kids that are like 7 and older, what you're gonna have to do is do the same thing in regards to the therapy. But what they're going to do is they're going to basically tell you, she's going to tell you that the kid don't want to go. She's going to say, oh, well, the kid, you know, he or she don't want to go. He or she just say they got other things to do and everything else. And more than likely I mean, a lot of times that happens, okay? And in the event, in the times that it does happen, be proactive. You know how old your kid is. Hopefully you listen to this video before you go and file something, because what you need to do is you need to turn around and you need to put it in your paperwork that this should be this issue, the counseling should be encouraged, just like school, sports, and loving her is encouraged. It needs to be just encouraged. So if she turning around, she better not, you know, if she's turning around telling her kid, you better go to school, and that kid is listening, then she better turn around and tell that kid, you better go to therapy, you better go to counseling, because you need to see your daddy, you need to be with your daddy, you need to love your daddy too. If the problem is really him or her. If the problem is probably not the kid. But what I'm saying though, in the event she needs to do those things, and you need to put it in the declaration and outline it. And don't say, oh, how do I do that? If anything, find somebody that know how to write, or hit me up. Hit me up. I'm going to charge you, but hit me up. Okay? And that's real. So my thing is give me one sec. My thing is that you have to be proactive, and you have to understand that if she's telling you these things, don't you think that. Don't you turn around and because some fellas, I mean, that I talk to, what the easy? Some fellas that I talk to, this ain't cool, man. Some fellas that I talk to, they say that, I mean, they kind of, what do I say? They kind of listen to her. You know, they're kind of like, yeah, well, our relationship isn't the very best, and our relationship isn't this, and this and that, and I hope, you know, well, I did used to yell at the mom in front of the kids, so the kid may not like me, or the kid. That's bullshit. The kid is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to 17. Okay, and you turned around and you popped that kid, you whooped that kid ass at one time or another, or you was drunk, okay, and you done the dumbass shit of going inside that kid's head while intoxicated, or It was not intoxicated. And your kid says something out of line, and you pop, pop. Okay? Yeah, it wasn't the best ass way you whoop some ass, but it happened. Okay? And you saying that kid is holding on to this stuff for weeks and months and all that? That's bullshit. Not unless that other parent or somebody else is putting it in the kid's head. That's real. Unless in 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 17. The younger ones, man, them kids don't know shit. And I'm not, and don't take that little snippet and say whatever. What I mean by this is that them kids are so forgiving and they forget things just like that. They don't know what they be doing. Like, for example, you'll have the mom or the dad, kid be running around. They'll be running around like, and the mama say, stop all that. Kid don't stop. Mama grab him, whoop. Daddy grab him, whoop. Wow. Whoop that ass. Okay, right on the butt. Hit him on the diaper, whatever. Kid start crying. Ah! Go in the room. Kid will go in the room. 3 minutes later, you call the kid out. Hey, come on out here. Kid, come on out. Get on over here. Kid running. Then forgot about what just happened. Forgot about their ass being whooped. Everything. Or they may come out a little slow. See if they test the waters. See if they still in trouble. And if they ain't, they back on running. They back on doing what they wasn't supposed to be doing. Because kids are just like that. Now, you got the older ones. The ones that kind of start to put it in their head that it was right or it was wrong, because they're more, I'm talking about your 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. The 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, they taking it. And they go the same situation. What you doing? And now this is a little different now. Now they misbehaving in school. Now they doing something else. And you go upside that kid's head. That kid is going to evaluate the reason why they got their ass whooped. Now, if they got their ass whooped for doing something they weren't supposed to be doing, whether you drunk, whether you sober, whether you whoop them with a belt in your hand, or you lecture them, okay, that kid is going to know that what you did was for the right reasons. Now, if you just go upside that head, you wake up and you just see them walking, you're drunk, fire, that kid gonna remember what the hell you did. But both situations, okay, and let me shut up. I ain't no doggone therapist. I ain't no psychologist. I ain't no therapist. I ain't no counselor. But I do have experience with this stuff. Why? Because I had kids. That damn it. And I got the life experience. These counselors probably don't even have no kids. They read from a book. These doggone therapists, they be having their own problems too. I know a therapist, okay, and she cute as I don't know what, okay, and this is real talk. She had a high school, okay, and I ain't even gonna name the high school. It is what it is, But man, we used to do some things with her. We used to have some fun. Okay, and then now she a therapist, and she we make jokes while she had that high school, them old football boys, but we used to have some fun. Now she over there, and she ain't got no kids. She ain't got one kid. Damn near 40. Okay, ain't got no kids. We used to have some fun, and now she go ahead and she talk about how all the other kids is. She diagnosed them. So where I'm going with this is that they got their own issues too. So I'm just saying, I'm giving you my perspective, okay? No one else's. And I'm not an attorney. I didn't say all that, okay? But I am somebody that cares and somebody that understands the detriment that it takes on a kid, okay? The toll that it takes on a kid to not to have the father involved. I mean, serious talk. But getting back to it, these kids when you dealing with them, you're gonna be having two fronts, and you're gonna have to make sure that you address it properly. And the way that you do it is, again, don't go through no CPS, don't go through no CPS, don't go through the court and you just file some paperwork because you upset. You take these steps by making sure that you go get a therapist. I mean, I'm sorry. You go to your court. You go get your court. You go to the court. Get some court-appointed therapists and counselors. Then you turn around and you go and interview about 5 of them, and then you go ahead and you prepare a declaration and you include all the what ifs in your deck. What if she does this? What if she does that? What if she does this? What if she does that? You go by and you provide. Okay, if she does this, Your Honor, then this is, I think, in the event this happens, this is how I think that we should remedy things as best as possible. In the event this happens, this is how I think we should remedy things. And you do this. And it doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, 20-page essay or declaration. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something within 5 pages that clearly outlines what it is that's needed, and it will help you. Okay, so my thing is that keep them daddies. I hope this information is helpful to you dads, and I hope a brother be talking a lot, and I have my lights go on and off, and and I can't. I'm not a real good editor or whatever you talk about, but this information that I have for you is valid. It's it's helpful. And you can do fact checks, whatever you got to do. But if you follow this information, it's going to be helpful. Now, again, for the fathers who their parent, who their former spouse or their girlfriend is keeping you away from the kids, and she's citing the fact that the kids don't know you, they full of shit. Okay, and you don't have to wait weeks and months and get a step up plan to basically see your kid more if you want to see your kid more. Okay, if you want more time with your kid, you get more time. Now, this is what's up. If you need help with this, hit me up. If you need somebody to basically not give you advice, because I'm not an attorney, but to assist you in this thing of helping you get your kids, get your stuff right, and don't end up like a brother like me that I got grown ass kids now, and this stuff is lingering off to the grandkids, and this is crazy. It's called that generational stuff. And if I can help you guys not go through it, or be a part of you being you seeing your kid, okay, then I want to do that. So anyway, I hope you found this information helpful. You have yourself a good night.